Deepak, over to you. We believe that there will be last rite ceremonies that are going to be performed, and it is the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah who's also taking stock of the situation.
Yes, we're here at the residence of Bharat Bhushan, who was shot dead in Kashmir by the terrorists. Now the Karnataka Chief Minister is here paying his respects. I'm just going to ask my video journalist if he can just go a little ahead and try to bring you these pictures. These are heart-wrenching pictures, of course. When the mortal remains were brought in here early this morning, the family was completely distraught. And right now we're looking at several leaders who've come here, including the Chief Minister himself, the Transport Minister also here. We have also former leaders of the Congress Party, the BJP leaders as well here. A lot of locals have gathered. Neighbors, family, friends, relatives, all of them paying their respects. For the next couple of hours, the people here would be allowed to pay their respects before the cremation will get underway. And as we speak here, you can see the Chief Minister speaking to some of the family members, paying his respects to the mortal remains of Bharat Bhushan. Now, Bharat Bhushan, along with his wife and a 3-year-old child, had gone to Kashmir, where they were having a good time together as a family, wanted to spend some quality time. He's a techie who was managing a family business in Bengaluru. And while they were in Pahalgam, they're being shot dead with 25 others, and it has come as a rude shock to all the family members. The brother of Bharat immediately flew to Kashmir, tried to do his best in helping his sister-in-law as well. We spoke to the mother-in-law of Bharat Bhushan yesterday, who was completely shattered by the news that came in. And right now you can see the Chief Minister, of course, greeting the family members, paying his respects and offering his condolences as well. And as we look at these scenes, it is, of course, something that we've seen across the country, haven't we, over the last 24 hours. It hasn't been, really good news that has come in at all from Kashmir. There have been several people, apart from those who are dead, who are still stranded. At least about 60 tourists from Karnataka were stranded. Arrangements are being made for them. It's not just the people from Karnataka, is it? It's people from across the country who've suffered, who are in mourning at this point in time. Even as at the government level, several decisions are being taken as a reciprocal action to what has happened in Kashmir. But right now, for the families, especially of those who've lost their loved ones, it is really hard to deal with the situation. You can see the emotions really high right now. You can see the wife of Bharat Bhushan completely shattered, still in tears. It has been a difficult journey for her after witnessing that shootout which killed her husband, and then having to deal with that entire trauma, after which it has been painstaking hours before she could actually reach Bengaluru. It was a long wait. There had to be some formalities that had to be concluded in Kashmir. Then a long flight from Srinagar to Delhi, from Delhi again to Bengaluru. The mortal remains reaching Bengaluru just in the wee hours at about 4 this morning, after which now here at their residence there have been some rituals, and finally now you're looking at the Chief Minister himself being here. We're expecting even the Governor of Karnataka to make his way here in a short while from now. As we look at these heart-wrenching pictures, it's of course very, very unfortunate, very sad to see what has transpired and led to this sort of a situation where families are in mourning, not just in Bengaluru or in Karnataka, but different parts of the country. As the Chief Minister now offers his condolences to the family, I'm sure there are assurances as well that will come in. The Karnataka government has also announced a compensation of 10 lakh rupees to the kin of the deceased. But of course, at this point in time, it's just not about the money. It is about the life that has been lost for the families. Yesterday, I spoke to several friends of Bharat Bhushan. All that they had to say is his life has been lost and it cannot come back. Even the wife of Manjunath, the other deceased from Karnataka, when I did speak to her and ask her about what she seeks from the government at this point in time, she says security. And that is something that families across the country will hope that when they travel to integral parts of the country, they will just hope that security is provided and they feel safe in tourist locations. They don't have to worry about their lives like what has happened in Pahalgam. And while we look at these scenes here. In a short while from now, I'm told in about an hour, the mortal remains of Manjunath. He was a realtor who travelled with his wife Pallavi and his son after their second PU examinations, decided that they'll celebrate together. He was also shot dead, and we saw those images of Pallavi in tears as a contrast to the image of her smiling while she was on the Shikara boat. And his mortal remains is expected to reach Shimoga at about 9:30 this morning. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi and a few other leaders expected to be in Shimoga to support the family there, pay their respects as well. And we're expecting a lot of developments there. As far as the final rites of Bharat Bhushan and Manjunath is concerned, it's expected to take place at about 1 this afternoon. And while we continue to bring you these pictures, they're pictures that really highlight the plight of how much sadness this entire episode has brought, not just to the family of Bharat Bhushan, not just to the family of Manjunath, but the families of 26 Indians who lost their lives tragically in that terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, Deepak, 25 Indian nationals and one Nepali national, they lost their lives during that tragedy that unfolded. You did mention that the last rites, the cremation is going to be taking place at 1 o'clock this afternoon as per Vocaliga customs. But you know what must have been extremely heartbreaking and difficult would be to break the news to the parents, as reportedly they are heart patients, and the mother apparently wasn't, informed about the demise of her son. Because they were trying to protect her for the longest time. Take us through the grief that the family is going through, and this has sent shockwaves across. This feels like a personal loss to perhaps every citizen of the nation.
Absolutely, and you are referring to the family of Manjunath. He hails from Shimoga. Yes, the family didn't want to tell the mother because she was emotionally quite weak already. They had just informed her that he had sustained injuries. Now, when his mortal remains reaches his residence, of course, it is going to be a very, very rude shock to the family members. They have, of course, slowly told them about the situation, and it is very difficult, of course, to inform the family, especially aged parents, about that their son has been shot dead. How would you really inform anybody about news like this? It is tragic to say the least. And as we continue to bring you these pictures live from Bengaluru, this is the residence of Bharat Bhushan. A lot of people, friends, family members that I've been speaking to recall him as a loving man who has cared for his family, who's cared for his loved ones, who's been a good neighbor, who's been a good friend. For no fault of his, all that they were longing to do is, as a family together along with his wife and kid, just wanted to have a good time. And tragedy really striking, and it was no fault of theirs. Everyone who travels hopes to just come back with good memories. We've seen social media posts, we've seen
Right.
people speak about going to Kashmir and really that being a fond memory of theirs. But now the memories that they bring back are memories of agony, something that not everyone could have fathomed. And as we continue to bring you these pictures from across the country, one would hope that the government of Karnataka, government of India, of course, does enough to ensure the protection of people, the safety of people wherever they're traveling.
Right, Deepak, we will keep coming back to you for more on that. Deepak joining us from right outside the residence of Bharat Bhushan. Of course, it is Siddaramaiah who is paying his last respect to Bharat Bhushan, one of the victims amongst the 26 who were killed. In fact, most of them killed in front of their families, including let's go across to Uma, who's joining us from Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, a native from Hyderabad. We're talking about Manish Ranjan, who lost his life during the attack. Uma, take us through what really happened there. Apparently, he did ask his wife and his children to move to safety when the terrorists surrounded them and asked them, to move away from the area, trying to protect his family during his last moments.
So Manish Ranjan was along with his wife and 2 children in Pahalgam on an LTC, taking a break away from work because the children also had their summer holidays, and this was a very attractive destination for them to travel to. And That is where, of course, terror struck, and this man was shot dead in front of his children and his wife as well. And two other people from the Telugu states. One is Chandramouli, a 70-year-old travel enthusiast who had gone along with his wife and two other couples to Pahalgam. They had in fact stayed in Srinagar and were traveling each day, one day to Gulmarg and another day to Pahalgam. And that's when this tragedy struck. And what we do understand is that the wife and husband had got separated, and the wife had in fact called up her brother and said that there seems to be a terror attack. I'm not able to find Chandramouli, and then they realized that he had also been shot dead by the terrorists. His mortal remains were brought late last night to Visakhapatnam at the airport, where Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu was there to express condolences to the family members, and also to reiterate that India stands together in this hour of grief. In order to make a resolve that we are united. There is solidarity among the Indian people, not just members of the NDA, but he is saying all political parties, of course, need to come together, intellectuals need to come together, all the citizens of the country need to come together at this time of grief and shock in order to resolve that we are going to stand united in order to fight this. And 3-4 points that he has made, that he believes that the timing was obviously very delicate at a time when the US Vice President was here and the Prime Minister was away from the country. That's when this terror strike has happened. Second, that he believes that there are some forces that are trying to destabilize the country, and he spoke about the economic power that India is emerging as, and therefore they were using terror as a weapon to try and attack India and to demoralize India. And he said that not just the political parties but citizens also need to behave almost like intelligence agents, be alert about what is happening around them, because this time they've chosen to target Indian citizens who are not part of the police force or the security forces or the political establishment, but ordinary Indians who were just out there as tourists, and something that was helping the people of Jammu and Kashmir because tourism is back, and everyone was more than 2 crore 34 lakh people had visited the area just in the last year. And Chandrababu Naidu spoke about the fact that it's an attack on that peace that has been established there and economic activity that has been revived in that area. So I must say that political parties across, political leaders across political parties have expressed solidarity. Chief Minister of Telangana, Mr. Revanth Reddy, in fact said that this is an attempt to demoralize the citizens of India, and that we are not going to allow this to break us in any manner, and we are standing united against the terror. There are, of course, peace rallies by the Janasena as well in Mangalgiri. There is a YSRCP also that had a peace rally, candlelight rally in Tadepalli. So all these are the party headquarters of these respective parties, and all of them saying that in this hour of grief we are standing together and standing with the union government in whatever the steps that they take in order to fight this, and many of them echoing the sentiments of the rest of the citizens of India as well. Chandrababu Naidu has also announced 10 lakh rupees as compensation to the families of the bereaved. Madhusudan Rao and Chandramouli, whose mortal remains were brought back to their homes, their last rites are expected to be conducted today.
Right, Uma, we also have Ratnadeep joining us from Arunachal Pradesh. In fact, Ratnadeep, one of the residents of Arunachal Pradesh, an Indian Air Force official, has been a victim. He was there with his wife on a holiday in Kashmir when he was shot dead in front of his wife. The Chief Minister has condemned this attack while meeting with the family members, asking for this time where it is a time to grieve. He is, of course, providing some sort of, support for the family in this very, very trying time. Ratnadeep, get us details of the Indian Air Force official who lost his life while he was with his wife on a holiday. He was in Pahalgam when that incident took place. Of course, it is the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh who has gone on to remember the official, talking about his untimely death. It has been a great loss not only to his family but to the entire country. And while meeting with his wife and also trying to provide some sort of strength and solace in this very unimaginable time of grief.
That's right. In fact, the mortal remains of Indian Air Force Corporal Tage Haliang was brought late last night from Srinagar via Delhi to Guwahati, where there were, there were tributes paid to the mortal remains on behalf of the Assam government by Assam Cabinet Minister Jayanta Malla Barua, where he also met his wife. Remember, Tage Haliang, who hails from Lower Subansiri district, Tajang village of Lower Subansiri district, which is very close to the district headquarters of Zero, a very beautiful but remote place in Arunachal Pradesh. And he was serving the Indian Army for the last couple of years and was posted for over 2 years at Srinagar. And only last week, he got his transfer orders from Srinagar to Dibrugarh. We did speak to his elder brother, his maternal uncle, and they both said that he was very happy that he was posted to Dibrugarh, which is closer to home, and therefore actually to celebrate this transfer closer home, he had gone out with his wife on a short visit to Pahalgam when this terror attack happened, and he also lost his life. And in fact, his mortal remains are being taken to Zero in Arunachal Pradesh via Tejpur in Assam. It has been flown to Tejpur, and depending on the weather conditions, either it will be airlifted from Tejpur to Zero, or if the rain continues there, then it will be taken by road. However, across Arunachal Pradesh, there is a sense of shock, there is a sense of grief. Chief Minister Pema Khandu and many of the senior ministers of his Council of Ministers would be present at Zero to pay their last tributes to this brave heart who was serving the nation with the Indian Air Force. And in fact, his elder brother is also with the army posted in Srinagar. He was the first person who got the information. In fact, when we spoke to his maternal uncle, the entire family is in shock, the entire family is in trauma. In fact, his elderly parents have not been informed as of now. In fact, it was only last year when he got married. So for his wife, who is still in trauma, those visuals that we have, I'm sure we have played out those visuals with his wife breaking into tears when the last tributes were offered to him in last night in Guwahati. So therefore, this is not only a loss for the family back in Zero or for the people of Arunachal Pradesh, but perhaps for the people of the country, for particularly in Northeast. Yesterday, in different places, there have been several protest rallies, several condolence meetings taking place to not only mourn the death of the tourists, but also to urge the government for a decisive and a very strong action against this kind of terrorism.
Let's go across to my colleague Gurpreet, who is joining us from Haryana. Gurpreet, all state honours were bestowed upon the army officer. We're talking about a victim from Haryana who lost his life, who had just been married barely a few days ago. Very tragic story of the 26-year-old who was shot down in the area of Pahalgam. He had gone there just after he got married. He'd only been married about 5 to 6 days. We're talking about last respects that were paid to the lieutenant, including a formal procession and a rifle salute as well. The chief minister was there as well. Take us through what the family is going through and what is it that the family is demanding.
Well, we are reporting in front of their house in Karnal, and first of all, I'll request my viewer to show these pictures from the ground. We have seen a lot of BJP ministers. They had already come here to meet the family to just share their grief, and what we have learned, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, who is also Union Minister at this point of time, he can come anytime to meet the family members. If we can talk the family members, yes, they are still in mental trauma, and yesterday we have seen when all the top Navy officers, they had come here to give a guard of honor while holding that cremation ceremony. We have seen the sister of Vinay Narwal, she got emotional. She appealed to the Chief Minister of Haryana, saying, "मुझे उनका सिर चाहिए जिन्होंने मेरे भाई को मारा है." She was also saying, she was also asking that there is a need to provide a medical aid at these tourist places. What she had learned from her Babi, she learned that her brother was surviving for more than 1.5 hours, more than 1 hour, and but she was not able to get any medical medical aid. But now the family members, they are having high emotions at this point of time, and they are saying this is the time to take revenge from these people who were involved in this terror attack, because we have seen this time they had targeted the tourists who had just reached to Pahalgam. And specifically, if we can talk about Vinay Narwal, he just got married on April 16, and on April 19 he had a reception party, and after that they have decided to go to Pahalgam on honeymoon trip. But when they were having food, suddenly there was a terror attack, and in which we have seen Vinay Narwal, a Navy officer, he has lost his life and he was killed by terrorists. His wife was trying to even confront these terrorists, but she couldn't save her husband at that time. But now the family members, they have been demanding, they have already appealed to the central government. There is need to take a strict action against those people who are involved in this terror attack, and this is the time to teach them a lesson. So we have to wait and watch, because we have seen the state leadership, whether it's the Chief Minister of Haryana as well as the former Deputy Chief Minister Dushyant Chautala. We have seen even Manohar Khattar, the former Chief Minister of Haryana and who is also Union Minister. They are coming to share their grief at this point of time, and our family is quite hopeful from the central government. They are saying they are hopeful a revenge will be taken from these people who are involved in terror attack, and they have already appealed to the central government multiple times so that action should be taken in this case. Back to studio.
Right.